Girlfriend's sister came on to me. My girlfriend, 24. Her sister is, 22, 28. Now I've been dating my girl for about 3 years coming up soon. My girl moved in with me last year in June. And her sister comes over every once in a while, sometimes she sleeps over. She has a boyfriend, but I don't think she's too serious about him. Now I've cheated on my girl a couple times before, but I never wanted to hook up with her sister. At least I didn't want to. But every time she came over, she would always hug me for too long, or touch my leg. Even when her boyfriend came with her. Pretty much I could tell she wanted the D, and I told my girl this, but she got mad. And told me I was tripping and, that's my baby sister, she's not into you like that, she's just being nice. So I just agreed. And apologized. So, my girl works late night at a hospital, as a nurse. Her sister is a content creator. Don't ask, I won't tell y'all. And works as a waitress on the side. My girl told me her sister needed a place to stay since she moved out of her old place due to rent being too high. So at the end of March she moved in with us. At first, it was weird because my place only has one bathroom. And one day within the first few weeks of her living with us, when my girl was at work, her sister came out of the shower and asked me for help with the shower head. So I went in and helped her, and then after I did, she thanked me and I GTFO as fast as could, before she could do some wild shit. Now, in June we had a few parties kickbacks at our place. It was her sister's idea. And one night my girl got hella drunk while we played beer pong, and she passed out. So I carried her to our bed and laid her on her side and left her. When I came back her sister said, "So, we're going to play truth or dare." And I was like, "What the fuck? Truth or dare? What are we in middle school?" And she looked at me and said, "Well, you don't have to play, but anyone who plays then they could win money." I was faded. AMF always does that to a homeboy. So I agreed. At this point there were only like 7 of us left, 3 girls, and my girl was sleeping, so I figured worst case, I would have to do something stupid like kiss another thotty there. So I rolled with it. Now I do want to mention that one of the other dude was her sister's boyfriend. The other was a friend, and TBH, I forget who the other dude was. The 3 girls were her sister. And her sister's 2 friends. This is important. IDK how y'all play T or D, and I only played this twice before this. But her sister told us the rules basically like this: each person spins the bottle when it's their turn. Whoever it lands on they have to choose truth or dare. Each person gets 1 truth and 1 dare. And once they do both they don't have to do any till the others are out or also compete both. If a person fails to do a dare or a majority of people think they're lying then they are also out. I was confused as well, but this is the best way I remember it and I could explain it. It will make sense later. Basically, if the bottle lands on you, you choose truth or dare. The person who spanned the bottle gets to choose the question or dare. Once you choose 1x truth, if it lands on you again you have to choose dare. If you do both, you are safe for that round. Last person standing gets the money. BTW, everyone puts in $20 to start the game, and every spin is $5. If the person succeeds in the T or D, the person who spanned the bottle puts in another $5. If they don't, they put in another 10. After 3 rounds, if multiple people are still in, we decided to split the money. I'll give the details that are important and funny in the next part. So, her sister spanned the bottle first since it was her birthday weekend. She span it and it landed on my friend. And he's pretty wild, so he chose dare. She dared him to eat 2 ghost chili peppers, 1 harbino, and chased them down with wasabi and hot sauce in under 20 seconds. Like I said, my buddy is crazy, and he found this dare easy for him. Dude did it in under 10 seconds. Most of the first round was easy, everyone chose truth, besides one of her sister's friend who was dare to strip and make out with someone. She made out with the other girl, which was high-key hot. The only 2 things that stood out was when her boyfriend chose truth. Her friend, let's call her Tiff, asked if he knows that his GF, my GF's sister, fucks other guys. He said he knew, and when asked if he likes it, he shrugged. Then she, his GF, called him out, and said he likes it. And her friends agreed, so we had a vote to see if the majority thought he was lying. Now, I could give a fuck. And my friend is the same way, and like I said, Ion remember the other dude. But he also felt dude was lying. So her BF got eliminated, and I remember just seeing him sitting on the side looking at his phone with the saddest look on his face. When it was finally my turn, I just choose truth, because I ain't finna do a dare. And her second friend, let's call her Jess to make it simple, asked me to play FMK with the 3 of them. And I was like, fuck this. But me and my friend had a bet and he was talking shit, so I couldn't back down. So I said, fuck Tiff, marry Jess I guess, and kill Brooklyn. And when I was asked why by her sister, Brooklyn, I looked her dead in the eye, and that's just what I picked. If you think I'm lying then vote me off. and she said fine, I don't give a fuck. And we continued playing. Now when it was Brooklyn's turn it landed on me. And I saw the look on her face, and knew she was finna ask me to do something wild. I remember she said fine, since you hate me, you have to be handcuffed to me for the rest of the game, and I have to sit on you lap, and any dare, truth one of us does the other has to do the same. I was confused AF, and just asked, why the fuck do you even have handcuffs? And she laughed and said, that's all you ask? You're dumb. And then she went and got the handcuffs and also changed into a black leather mini skirt and a crop top. Before this she was wearing jeans. And then she slapped the cuffs on me and tried sitting on my lap, but I was like, wait. And she just sat on my lap. And again I said, hold up, why the fuck did you change? And she said, it was getting hot, why is there a problem? With a big ass grin on her face. I said, whatever IDC anyway. All I remember was looking up her skirt, I was sitting on the ground, and saw her ass cheeks hanging out because she had on the tiniest thong I ever did see. And her ass cheeks rubbing on my cock. And after a while I started to get hard and she whispered in my ear and asked, why are you getting hard? You better chill before I tell my sister. And I was like, this isn't even me hard, don't make your head any bigger. So as the game went on, and the second round went, we had to do 2 dares truths together. The one I remember having to take a body shot off her, and licking the salt from her tits, and eating the lime from her lips. I remember when I got the lime from her lips she tried braining me in for a kiss, but I pulled away. Pretty sure that made her want me more, but again that wasn't my intention, I just didn't want to kiss my girlfriend's sister. The truth I remember from the second round was her friend asking me how big my cock was. For 2 reasons I was like, how is she going to answer this question? And the second was, I'll get to that soon? And Tiff said, well, what's the biggest cock you ever had, Brooklyn? And they all looked at me to answer first. And I said straight up 8 inches when I'm hard. And then Brooklyn looked back at me and said, yeah right, you're lying. And then Tiff joined in and also called me a liar. I said, well, I ain't lying. And told Brooklyn to answer her question. So she said, I never had anything 8 inches, but my boyfriend is not even 6 inches. I remember just looking over at dude, and he looked like he was about to cry. So I said, dude, you're wild for putting him on blast like that. And she said, well, that doesn't matter. I still think you're lying about being 8 inches. You have to show me or you're eliminated. And I said, well, if someone gives us a dare, they can dare me to show you and let you measure me. If it's 8 inches you're out, but if it's smaller then I'm out. And she agreed. But my friend was next and like I said, dude is kinda crazy. He said, since you made me eat the peppers, you two have to drink a smoothie I made. And we all looked at him, and Tiff straight up said, dude, you're dumb, they're supposed to do the other dare. And he was like, oh, well fuck that. I dare you, Brooklyn, to take off all your clothes and jump in the pool. I was like, we don't even have a pool, dude, what the fuck are you on? We all had a good laugh, and then I saw my friend's face lit up like a little kid on Christmas morning. I dare you to eat a slice of her birthday cake off her tits. No wait, off her ass. And I like birthday cake and a thotty's booty better than the next guy, but I couldn't do it. But then I remembered the bet I had with my friend, so I had to go through with it. So they put the cake on Brooklyn's big little booty, and went to town on the cake. Then when I ate it and all the crumbs, she told me to lick her cheeks too. So I did, then I spanked her ass too. And helped her put her skirt back on, after cleaning her off, also had to help her put her panties on, since we were handcuffed she couldn't do it by herself. Now, I admit I was like 8 shots deep, maybe more at this point. And felt like I was on another level. When me and Brooklyn went back to sit down, she sat on my lap and looked back at me and tried kissing me. I turned my head away. But she persisted and wrapped her legs around my body, grabbed my head and started kissing me. I just went with it and then stopped. She smiled and said, still don't believe you're 8 inches. Anyway. After the second round and we got to the third round, there was only me, Brooklyn, my friend, and Tiff left. When Tiff spun the bottle it landed on us, and we had no more truths left. So we went with dare. And Tiff looked at us and said, well, you know what to do. And I said, wait, someone else has to go to just in case she lies, or tries something. And Tiff volunteered. So we went into Brooklyn's room. And she took the handcuffs off of us, and pulled my pants down, and as she squatted down I saw her play with her pussy. And then I had a funny feeling. I tried getting her to stop, but she pulled my pants down. And my cock flung up and almost smacked her in the face. She smiled and grabbed it. And said, I still don't think it's 8 inches, is this the hardest it can get? And I was like, fuck it at this point. Nah, but if you want me to get harder, maybe Tiff can help you, since I wanted to fuck her. I looked over at Tiff and she blushed and smiled and looked at Brooklyn and she looked jealous, And Brooklyn said, I think I can get your cock harder than her. And she started stroking my cock, and she put it in her mouth. Then Tiff got on her knees too and they both started to stroke me. At this point I forgot about the game, bet and just let them both slurp me up. But then I told them to measure me. And sure enough I was 8.5 inches. And I pulled my pants back up. And said, so we agree, right? But Brooklyn stopped me and grabbed my leg. And said, no, I don't think so. You still have to finish? And I was like, fuck you mean finish? And she said, come in my mouth or face at least. So I said fine then. And told her only if Tiff sucked it too. So they both slurped me up, and BTW they both have tongue rings, and Tiff kinda well she's a freak. So Broken told Tiff to start eating her pussy and she was moaning. While she sucked my cock, and I lost control and just busted a huge ass nut in Brooklyn's mouth. Then we went outside. And told them I was right. So Brooklyn was eliminated, and in the end, it was a tie between my friend Tiff and I. But while we were all still playing, after I came in Brooklyn's mouth, she was kissing her BF and I was thinking dude was nasty. But anyway. After everyone else left, I went to check on my girl. She was still sleeping, and Brooklyn came and told me to not say anything and I agreed, but then she told me to fuck her that night. But I told her she had to wait. Basically this was the first time she came on to me and it happens again too. But I'll save that for another time. Also it turned out Tiff gave my girl sleeping pills because her and Brooklyn came up with this plan. I mean shit is too wild for me. I guess if I didn't want to play the game they would have found another way to fuck, but IDK.